Hi, welcome to another Roboflow training movie. In this training movie, I'm going to talk about rebuilding a catalog. As you know, the Cumulus client has the functionality to rebuild a catalog, and Roboflow can do that as well. So the advantage of doing it with Roboflow is that you can schedule it. So in the client, you have to do it manually. And then you have to keep your client open, and your client is locked during the time that you're doing that. While if you're using Canto Roboflow, you can schedule it. Imagine that you create a text file in which you specify the list, in a list, which catalogs you want to rebuild. Then I create a hot folder template workflow, and in this hot folder template workflow I look into that folder where I have my file, my list of files I want to rebuild. And if you want this to happen frequently, scheduled, then you can specify that the drop folder, the files in the drop folder should never be deleted. So I have my file that defines which catalogs I want to convert in that drop folder, so I don't want it to be deleted. So I'm adding this parameter that tells the workflow not to delete any files from the drop folder. Then you can define the target folder that you want to use for the backup. So if you want to rebuild, it's always a good idea to first do a backup. In the action script, then I read the hot file, the file that contains the list of catalogs that I want to process. I also create the target folder to where I want to copy my backup, and then I process the table from the list of catalogs that I want to process. I output to file. I output to the log that's the backup starts, and then I execute. And here the path to the file I want to use. Here I have to specify the path name. It's a little bit confusing. It says folder path, but it should actually be the file path. So here what we can do is this is the catalog name that I picked up from my table that I'm processing, from the text file that I'm reading. And I can say here is my .backup. So that will automatically create a target file with the name of the catalog plus the ccf dot date timestamp and then dot back. If this is successful, it will store an empty string. If it's not successful, it will store the error, and then you can specify here in the log what happened, but you can also test on it. So I'm testing if the variable called backup, which I specified in the instruction, is empty. If it's empty, then it's successful, and only then I will do the backup. What I can do here additionally is maybe a test else. If it's not successful, I can send the email to a person responsible in the company to deal with that, with the failure of the backup. And then I can say, hey, if backup not successful, then I'm sending an email. So new conditional not, it's going to be notification and send email. Who do I want to send email to? Well, you can hardcode specify here to whom you want to send the email, but you can also use the email on error that is specified in your mail, in your global settings under your mail settings. Then the email subject is, you can say backup failed for, and oh yeah, that was correct, so why am I deleting it? For that catalog, and you can then here specify the backup will contain the error message, and you can then send this. Then if it is successful, you can write and say, okay, now we're going to rebuild the catalog, and then you're calling the rebuild of the catalog. Again, not specifying hard-coded the catalog, but picking it up from the row variable which contains the name, is the name of the catalog. Then same procedure, if rebuild is done, and then it's actually not stop but end might be a better word for it, and then I can do the same here, end, and then I can simply test here again if it was successful. So I can say here after this new, and I can say if it's not successful, I'm sending a mail. So I'm going to do the same test but invert the result. So I'm going to say I'm looking for the catalog, which is the variable under which I stored the result here, called catalog. I could call it rebuild, whatever, equals. So if it equals nothing, an empty string, then it's successful. But I only want to send an email if it's not successful. So then I'm saying test if rebuild was not successful. Control A, Control C, Control A, Control V. Here we go. And then in that case, again, I will send an error, and I can pick up the instruction here from the send mail. So I can do copy and then open this and say paste. And then here I can say rebuild failed, and the error message will be in the variable called catalog. So just like that. So this is how this can work. And then what is very important, if you rebuild a catalog rebuild will close all other instances of this catalog being opened. So make sure if you have other workflows using this catalog that they're not running. Make sure that no users at this point can be working in the client or in sites with this catalog, because all their access during the rebuild will stop, will fail. So let's do a start of this workflow. Usually you would probably schedule this somewhere like I run this every Saturday at whatever. So here we go. And then it starts. And if we have a look, show log, what does it say? It's starting file, reading the file. It says I'm going to back up this. You get a feedback to where it's going to back it up. It says it's successful. Then it says it's ended. It's going to start. There's no email in between because it was successful. Then it rebuilds test doubles. It is successful, and then finally it is here creating the next step for sample catalog, successful, and then the end. It's finished. So here you can also see how long it takes. These are very small catalogs, so it goes super fast. But for larger catalogs, the rebuild can run for hours. So be careful to make sure that the catalogs are not necessary or need to be accessible at that point in time. So that's how you can use the backup and rebuild from Roboflow. Thank you for joining this training movie, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.